Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Since today is my Hebrew birthday, it began yesterday on December 18th at sundown. My Hebrew birthday is the 5th night of Hanukkah. So anyway, I am going to be finally, very belatedly unboxing one of the pens I got from Fountain Pen Day at Atlas Stationers back in early November. I misspoke in yesterday's video for my secular birthday unboxing and said I had gotten them for Black Friday. I guess I was so confused and they'd been out of sight, out of mind for like over a month or just about a month. I totally forgot which sale, which day exactly I got them. So this is the Homo sapiens Visconti Earth Origins Fire. They had a major doorbuster deal on Fire and Air. I seriously considered getting both of them, but I just felt like I've been more pulled towards the Fire colorway since I started seeing it, you know, whenever, like a year or whatever ago. In Air, I mean, it looks really pretty, and of course all the websites pick the most attractive samples to do for their stock photos. Like, who wouldn't? You want to sell the product, but the Air model never really, you know, called to me. It just felt like, oh, most of the models I'm seeing both on like some websites and other people posting their pens, there's like just way too much like dark navy and not nearly enough of the beautiful light aqua and white tones. So, you know, Fire it is, and it appears like Air has been sold out at Atlas, and I think it's at a few other websites still do have the Air, but again, I was just never really called to it, and that's pretty much a sign you don't really need to get the pen. So this is, ooh, very nice. All those pretty orange and red tones, and I am a fire sign according to Western astrology, though I've talked about it in a number of videos because of like in the year I was born, 1979, Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, was directly influencing Sagittarius. So all of my Sagittarius placements have much more of a Piscean feel. And I realize some people think, oh, you believe in astrology, you must be a total quack. Like, no one normal who believes in astrology is pretending it's a science. It's its own like system. It's not pseudoscience when it's never, you know, in the modern era at least, claimed to be a science. So this is really nice, beautiful shades of like orange and like red. I mean, I know it can be a crapshoot with a lot of these primary manipulation pens. Like sometimes you just get like a huge like indistinctive like blob of color, or you get the colors you didn't want, or all the colors are running together. But this, it really evokes fire nicely, and in the grip, if I don't know if that's bringing that in too close, it's a really nice, like it looks kind of like purpley, like reddish purple, and a little bit of, you know, black up at the cap band. And this is really so beautiful, and I love their, you know, slip cap mechanism, and it continues on the grip section. This is a fine point. I had really good luck with the other two Viscontis. I got both in big sales, so I should have waited just a little bit longer, and I would have gotten the Lavender Isle from Atlas, an Atlas exclusive, which with an even bigger discount. But you know, you can never predict what's going to go on sale and what's still going to be available by the time it, you know, goes on sale. But I really enjoyed the two fine nibs I have from the Visconti Ether and Lavender. I also, and it really does appear from what I've like heard in recent like months, this past year, they listen to their consumers and disgruntled like people who bought pens, like, and they really stepped up their quality control over the last couple of years, I believe it is now. So I understand they did have a huge like undeniable issues in past years, but now they've like fixed the issues, and a lot of people still say, oh, they're crap, just like, oh, Monteverde had a legitimate like bad reputation in the previous years because their ink seemed to be prone towards growing mold. But now they've corrected the issues. Unfortunately, many people, they just don't want to like give them a chance and believe, oh, the issues are gone, they really fixed it, the new batches aren't like you remember. And this is a double reservoir vacuum power filler. Pull it. Sometimes it can be a little sticky. Hopefully I won't humiliate myself on camera by struggling. There it goes. Don't want to, like, you know, pull too hard, or they'll risk like, you know, popping off, and you don't want that to happen. So yes, sometimes it does take a little practice, particularly when a pen is new. I'm not going to be like filling this up until I decide on what color I would like to use for it, particularly because it's a good idea to have certain inks like living in these pens, just because it's such a devil of a time to, you know, clean them out. And let's lift up this I got number 161 out of 388. Nice. I mean, 161, that's not like one of my lucky numbers. Actually, the numbers add up to 8, which is kind of my unlucky number. But you know, I did have that video about, for I think it was my 300th video, that pen, its number is 8 out of 19, and that turned out to be the most beautiful, perfect, like symbolic, like number combination possible. So 8 doesn't always have to be an unlucky number. So I will like do a little dip testing and get back to you guys with a writing sample. The ink I chose is Devil Red Urdugi Vurush from Pannonia. I absolutely love this company. I mean, it doesn't like perfectly match, but I thought the name was really cool. Maybe I will like semi-permanently ink this up with something that's more of like a fiery or coppery, like orangey red. But for now, just, you know, why not go with this one? Let's see. This is a fine nib, and this is black coated. It doesn't really look particularly like black to me, but maybe this is just the light I'm seeing it in. So is that all in focus? It's good enough. This is Visconti Sapiens Earth Origins. Yeah, that's definitely like not like 100% you know, match for the red tones, but you know, good enough for dip testing. I was also thinking about Fire Opal from Monte Verde, and Copper Noir also from Monte Verde. Homo Sapiens Earth Origins Fire. I just love the color red. It stands for so many cool things, and it always makes me think of my character Cinnamon, one of my, you know, like trademark characters whom I'm proudest of having created over the years. We've known one another since we were 11 years old when I like wrote her into existence when, you know, November of 1991. November, I don't know if she was like one of the first characters I made when I started that book, but anyway, it was in November of 1991, so I've known her a long time. And anyway, like red is her signature color. She wears so much of it, and of course, like, you know, red is the color we associate with Dante as well. This is a Pannonia Devil Red. It's a shame more U.S. companies don't carry Pannonia. I've gotten most of mine from Goldspot and Cult Pens in the UK, and also Endless Pens, which is based in Florida, carries them. But, you know, of course, since they're a European company, the prices are much cheaper on Cult Pens, and I'm going to be placing another order with them presently for my birthday discount. Devil Red. So it folds up. Urdugi Vurush. Hungarian loves its diacritical marks. And I haven't had a bad experience yet with the Pannonia inks. They're so like wet, well lubricated, well flowing. But, you know, they do have a couple of lighter inks in the line, which presumably would be more on the dry side. Hopefully I'm not completely obscuring things. And yeah, so far this nib is not feeling like dry or ill-performing, but, you know, the test comes when you do longer writing samples with it. So Devil Red. This is a great pen. A very well-performing pen thus far. Well-performing pen thus far. Yeah, I'm not feeling any like skipping or hard starting or like scratchiness. It doesn't look like anything is like bent out of shape or misaligned or like the tines are apart. It's great. Visconti really seems to have stepped up and resolved its consumer issue, resolved its quality control issues. Really seems to have stepped. And I know I write very, very close together. I've explained why in a couple of my mental health May videos. Resolved its consumer issues. But of course, if I'm like writing for like a wider audience, more people to see, yeah, yeah, of course, then I'm going to make an effort to put somewhat more space between words. Issues. A great writer, very happy. Yeah, I'm probably putting a different ink in this after the dip testing dries up, but I'm loving it so far. This was a great purchase. I'm so happy they put it on Doorbusters. I mean, I wasn't really sure I would get this. I presumed, oh, they're sold out everywhere, but then, oh, suddenly they bought up the last stock of Earth and Air Homo sapiens, Earth Origins. Yeah, this might be really the chance. And like red makes me think of my like dear character Cinnamon, who's like I mean, like when you've been with characters like over 30 years at this point, they've come to feel more like friends, particularly when you've like grown up together. I mean, of course, I know they're fictional, but you know what I mean. If you like have written a long standing series like magnum opus documenting the characters like entire life throughout many like generations and decades, like you come to feel close to your characters. And since red is her signature color, it's like that's who I think of when I see lovely red pens like this. And of course, like my dear Dante, like, the fire of Inferno. But, as I have a video saying, like, you shouldn't just stop at Inferno. You've DNF'd the book. There are two other parts of the Divine Comedy, not just Inferno. So anyway, if you've watched all the way to the end, since this is my Hebrew birthday, it began on the 18th of December and is continuing through today, the 19th, because like Hebrew days begin at sundown. So anyway, it is said we have the power to give and receive blessings on our Hebrew birthday. So I would like to bless all of you with a happy rest of Hanukkah, a nice, wonderful Christmas, a great winter and holiday season, Kwanzaa, New Year's, a 2026 full of like happiness and blessings, everything you most dearly wish for from your heart, like much more joy than sorrow, and just anything you want, just a new year full of hope and wonderful, lovely, lovely things, like not a lot of obstacles standing in your way. Just like give yourself like confidence and like awesome, everything good you wish for. And if you want to in return give me a blessing, just bless that I should finally find my way, like be able to move into a city with a much larger Jewish community like I left behind in 2017, with like much more active and vibrant, and maybe I'll finally find a husband and be blessed with a child before time runs out. So thank you very much for watching all the way through to the end, and I will see you tomorrow for day number 20 of Ink Vent. Bye.